The Prison City Podcast will be starting shortly. Please take a moment to acknowledge the following sponsors of the Prison City Podcast, the best podcast on planet Earth. Cutler Brothers Productions, located in downtown Dearborn, is the best theater you'll ever see in your entire life. We have a special performance of Sweeney Todd is now here playing live every weekend, Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m., Sunday at 2 p.m. Get your tickets at cutlerbros.com. Once again, Sweeney Todd, the Demon of Barber of Fleet Street. Matt is the tech lighting booth for that, so that guy, he does that stuff. So check out Sweeney Todd at cutlerbrothers.com. Get your tickets now and see the best fucking show on planet Earth. Cuts by Cuts Productions by Matthew Cutler. He takes your old VHS tapes or Super 8s or whatever, puts them in his digital machine, sets the fucking thing on fire, and you can watch your old VHS tapes burn to the ground. Cuts by Matt Cutler. Just kidding, folks. He takes your old memories, your DVD memories, anything you want, you can put on DVD. Take a VHS, put it on DVD, take a Super 8 film, whatever you want. Cuts by Cuts, there's a phone number right there if you ever want to transfer your old memories to a digital format. Cuts by Cuts by Matthew Cutler. Das Fruit Improv Comedy, possibly the best and funniest improv comedy team on planet Earth, is looking for new bookings for the 2022 season. Go to dasfruit.com if you want to book the funniest fucking improv team on motherfucking planet Earth. Das Fruit. If it's not funny, then at least you'll get offended. Pat Cutler's TikTok, ladies and gentlemen, is fucking exploding, so please get on there and help support underprivileged kids, as that is his sole mission in life. Pat Cutler, Patrick W. Cutler TikTok, check it out. The best TikTok shit you'll ever see in your life. The best horror film you'll ever see in your entire life. Redgate is officially released August 26th. secretofredgate.com, check it out. Fuck Pat Cutler, he's nothing but a sexist piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Make sure to check out Kelly Cutler's YouTube channel, The Kelly Cutler Show, a true documentation of everything that happens behind Cutler Brothers scenes and everything from the recent wedding episode, the roast of Matt Cutler, everything you want to know about Cutler Brothers Productions. Check out The Kelly Cutler Show on YouTube. It's almost football season, folks, so make sure you support Mahomes and those Nebraska Cornhuskers that he works so hard for every day. Mahomes, we really want you to win this year at Nebraska. Hopefully Scott Frost does not get fired. So get out there and support those Cornhuskers, folks. Yeah, go Cornies. Ladies out there, I now present you a picture of God himself.
I understand there's no good segue from what he just said.
Just be professional. Text me back whenever I message you. Show me your tits.
Once again, there it goes.
This disease or that disease or aliens coming down and taking over.
No shit.
I got hot milks in my area wanting to bang.
Sexual experience.
You don't know Pat well enough. I can see how someone might be like, fuck this guy. Why is he saying that to me?
Oh no, she's out.
Gee, what the fuck?
But we are certainly not back on track.
No, you guys were acting like you couldn't hear a word I was saying.
Told me I shouldn't park in a handicapped spot, and that was his response.
Oh, then I think maybe I can't with you, man. You can't tell me that you're all pissed at someone when you hit him with that stuff.
And this all happened in 10 minutes? No wonder she got offended.
Did you just yes and that shit? Yes and?
They're so fucking worthless.
Welcome to the Prison City Podcast. When the bars go up, you're officially locked in.
Welcome to the Prison City Podcast, everybody. We're back for another great show. So far, we've delivered basically 2.5 shows these past 3 months. Been busy schedule for everybody around, and then so we're back here tonight. I had about 27 different topics I wanted to talk about, and then just got been on this keto diet and just couldn't fucking sleep last night, so I just went down and just did some other topics that are easier to talk about. We're gonna get back onto the 48 Laws of Power at some point tonight, which is a really fun discussion. But most of all, we want to talk about those Nebraska Cornhuskers, are going to open the season against Northwestern. It's actually at Northwestern, unless it's a neutral field. And they're 12.5-point favorites. But we know how that had happened last year. They were like 10-point favorites against Illinois, and they just got smoked. So Mahomes, how do you feel about your chances against Northwestern on Saturday?
Northwestern's tough every year. I think kind of underrated and tough. Their coach is always going to have him, Fitzgerald? He's always going to have him ready to play. My guess, Fitzgerald seems like a guy that still believes in like 3-day practices. So I think they're going to be like kind of too tired for the first game, and they're going to be that team that like is too amped up. So they're probably going to come out and get like 10-0 first quarter, and then they're going to be tired from all the 3 days and no adrenaline. And then, I think our Huskers take it from there.
And what is the leash on Scott Frost right now? He's been freaking – it's got to be a pretty tight leash. He hasn't done anything so far.
He's a favorite son around here, but yeah, I think people are ready to win. I think that's the biggest thing. So I would say if it's a bad year this year, he's probably out. I just don't know who you replace him with.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of firing coaches constantly in college football. It never works. Just ask the Pitt Panthers. They finally stick with the coach. Now we've won the AC championship, and we've been like the ACC title like 3 times or something since he's been there. So it doesn't do you a whole lot of good to just fire coaches constantly. Kelly, so I like Northwestern plus 12.5 on Saturday. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd probably say Northwestern plus 12.5. Northwestern's got a good program. That's one of the only college stadiums that I've been to out. I mean, not even East, but Midwest. I went to one of their games. Can't remember who they played, but it was fun. So I would take that bet, definitely. And just want to say you might want to change the Sweeney Todd thing in the intro because Sweeney Todd is over. So I hope no one shows up to the theater thinking we have shows this weekend. I had somebody call me. Leave a message and said, yeah, we want 10 tickets on Sunday with someone we all know. So I was like, what the hell are they talking about? I was like, well, it's the awards bank. What are they bringing 10 people? So I called him back and I was like, so you want 10 tickets Sunday? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, we don't have a show. He's like, yeah, I'm joking with you. I was like, oh, I thought you wanted to go to the awards banquet with like 10 of your friends. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, Sweeney Todd's over, folks. So please don't show up at the theater expecting to see that show. It's done.
The awards banquet for Color Brothers is Sunday. That was going to be a lot of fun.
One thing I did want to mention, that opener is in Dublin, Ireland, so very much neutral field.
Oh, okay, that's why it's a 12.5 thing. I was good. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
I'd still take the bet.
I still like Northwestern.
12.5 is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, especially for Nebraska, who just seems to fuck up every game they play in with Frost. Matt, welcome to the show. How are things going with you, sir?
Good. So you want my 2 cents on the Nebraska game?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I'm thinking about maybe taking the under because I don't think you got that long plane ride. I just think it's gonna be low scoring or very high scoring, one of the two. Because either they're gonna be ready for it or they're gonna be not ready for it. One of the two.
I like that. There's no middle.
No middle.
And Pat, do you have the line for the Wardens at Sealy this Friday?
Oh, jeez. I
gotta think it's Sealy at least 40-point favorites.
I have no clue about Sealy at all. Where they're at with the football team. They've been in the Class C we're in Class C now.
Well, that's I honestly think we're at a disadvantage because like your first year playing 8-man, playing against teams that have been playing it for years, you don't really know what it's all new to you. It's not like they've been churning out a bunch of
and then
athletes.
They get freaking drumming, which is drum. The whole drum thing's so fucking stupid. You stop winning state championships, so you have to co-op with Phillipsburg down the road. You can't just play with your own team. That just like blows my mind.
Well, have you ever been to Drummond? There's like 3 houses there. So I get it.
Well,
I'm surprised we're not co-op. I bet at some point it's going to be a 3-town co-op if this many kids keep going out for football.
Well, it's so sad because, I mean, Deer Lodge is still, a very large Class B school. All the other sports are Class B. But football, it's Class C, 8-man, and they still only have 20 kids out. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that they're playing. I think that's cool. I'm glad they have something after having nothing for 2 years. But it's just like, what are these parents doing with their kids? I mean, I'm already looking forward to watching like my kids, play football, and that's in 15 years,
And they'll be they'll be 6-man by then.
Yeah, it'll be 3-on-3 flag football.
Sorry, they're playing football in the metaverse. Let me reiterate.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. What'll be awesome is if they're in the metaverse, I'll be able to tune in for those.
But the Drummond, the whole Drummond thing, I think Phillipsburg needs Drummond more than Drummond needs Phillipsburg. Because I think most of the kids from Drummond, all those surrounding areas, they get Helmville, Ovanda.
Oh, yeah.
All them
Drummond.
kids, they come from miles around just to come to Drummond school. So I really think Phillipsburg needs Drummond more than the other. But I'm saying you put Phillipsburg with an already good or solid Drummond as they've been every single year, then yeah, they're going to be a freaking powerhouse. And they're going to beat the fuck out of us on, what is that, September 2nd or something? Right?
So that we played Drummond at home. That's our first home game.
Yep.
Oh my God!
First home game as an 8-man team
in 2 years.
Freaking dynasty. That's going to be embarrassing.
And the other thing is, Albert's coming home for Dax's baptism, so it's gonna be Albert's first home game he's watched in 20 years or something.
Yeah.
That's who's the head coach? Is it still the Drummond guy?
Yeah, it's for Atlantic.
Huh.
Yeah,
Alex, right?
Yeah. No, it's not Alex. It's
Andrew.
Andrew, yeah, Andrew from Atlantic.
Okay.
But I guess we got to look at. I don't even know like who's in their conference anymore. You go Class C, there could be like 10 teams in there or something. I don't know.
I think they play you just got to think of the ones that are around. So you have whatever the Titans or whatever they're called in Drummond, Sealy, probably Ennis, probably up in Sims, like up by Great Falls, Cascade area.
So my question too was, are we legitimately Class C football? This isn't like a fun year. Like if we actually win and do well, we can make the playoffs, right?
Oh yeah, no, this is they're Class C for the foreseeable future.
How do they allow that though when the student body's still relatively big? Like, did they just say no one's coming out for football? Let us play Class B?
I think you can apply for it, as I think
you can apply. It's the same reason like Butte Central. The school's tiny, but they stay Class A because they get enough kids that go out and they can show like year over year we'll have enough to be competitive, kind of thing.
Butte Central's like the opposite of Deer Lodge.
Yeah,
same amount of kids. They're Class A. We're Class C.
Well, it's private schools like Loyola. It's way fucking different. Like all the kids go to the school play sports basically.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I just got 2 more points. Wouldn't they have to change their field to match a smaller field? And 2, when did they're opening this Friday at Sealy? When did Sealy get lights on their football field? When did that happen?
Yeah, that was weird.
I remember. I think they got it like right after you graduated, Matthew.
Yeah, because we stopped playing them pretty much.
Yeah.
So anyways, watching, we're talking about Montana football here. Here we go.
The first bullshit.
I think what we were just talking about has been that.
Yeah, well, that was still the opening thing. So yeah, big week this week, Mahomes. Finally, something we can all talk about. Been working on this for months on end. Very excited. And yeah, I'm talking about the Rangers Angels wiffle ball game tomorrow in the Parents Backyard. What do you think about that, Mahomes? Are you excited for
that? I can't believe that it's almost September and you are still playing. And everyone pushing 40 still playing in the backyard there into September.
Our season started in April, and it probably won't end until sometime in September.
That is that feels like too much.
But it's a loser out game though.
We're down to it, huh?
It's a
Who's,
let's cut the losers out
who's
tournament. Whoever
favored?
wins. Texas is because the Angels don't really have a team, and I'll have to play for Texas. So they're the Texas Rangers of the Wiffle Ball League. For one viewer that tuned in, that's what we're talking about now.
I mean, this is truly us just talking to each other at this point. Can you imagine if like anyone is even remotely interested in Warden football and then backyard wiffle ball? But I'm excited to see. I got a feeling that the Angels are going to shock the world.
Oh, they are. They are going to shock the world. We probably should have some random viewers tonight because I have a pretty trending topic. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting week here. See how that wiffle ball turns out and everything. And that's the show. No, but
Hey,
All right, round them up.
oh, nice.
there you go. Now on to the real first bullshit.
The first bullshitter.
All right, so this week we finally have our horror movie premiering, Redgate, which is beginning. There's a photo right there. There's a poster. It's going to be really freaking cool. It's going to be online. I'm going to announce it the day of because I'm still working on some details of it. It's not going to be hard to release. We just come down the final stretch here. It's going to be right at the buzz. We're going to have it up and going. It's going to be pretty fucking crazy. The marketing plan I have was really insane. So yeah, Redgate, the horror movie we've been working on for better part of like 2 years now. It's finally coming out fucking this Friday. How excited are you for that, Mahomes?
It's crazy. I'm trying to think. Was it like a year ago when you guys had your Wild Detroit Film Festival experience?
That was like 5 months ago, actually.
That was only
Yeah.
5 months ago? That feels like it's a year ago.
That was like a week before the Vegas trip, maybe 2 weeks
Oh, wow.
in March or whatever.
It's crazy. I keep doing the times in my head. It's crazy because before boycott Pat Cutler started, like I literally my plans was to move to Pittsburgh over a year ago in May, and then that happened, and then like a couple weeks later, everything shifted with Redgate, and I just made the decision to hang around and make it the best film I could possibly make it. And a lot of things changed. Well, changed a lot, not just a little bit. Changed way a ton, and yeah, now here we are, fucking 4 days away from launch. We have a full out plan. It's gonna be really cool when it gets up and everything. Just gotta finally put the pedal on the metal here and go through and do it. And yeah, it's gonna be cool.
How you feel? Are you nervous, or are you kind of like ready for it to be over with and out?
I think I'm a little bit. I don't know. I'm kind of ready for it just to be out, but I'm a little bit anxious to see what the numbers are that come in and everything. Because once it comes out, my biggest thing is like I've held off on a lot of marketing because I want to be able to market it when the link's actually up and live. So if you market on like a podcast or something, they share the link, and yeah, there it is. There it is. They can share it out to everybody on their podcast, and people can actually click on it, and then they can watch the trailer, and then they can watch the movie. You know, so I've been waiting on a lot of marketing things I've been saving up in my arsenal for when it actually comes out. But I'm excited because I go back to those numbers for that Facebook marketing numbers we had for the Detroit Film Festival. Were fucking insane for Facebook. And imagine they had something to actually click on and like rent or buy the movie or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
that's what excites me about it. So yeah, but I've had a really good marketing scheme going. It's gonna be really fun once it gets fucking released. Friday.
I just opened your YouTube. You got the trailer's got 15,000 views.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Expect a lot more as we heat up. But my thing is, I got such a massive marketing. As long as it gets picked up or not picked up, it just hits on one of these major like news stations or whatever. It's gonna get like a shitload of views. Like they've been recently. There've been where one show was released this summer, Discovery Plus Fright Club. The Redgate alien was on that, Don Bromley, and then I went up. Oh god, that was back in July. I want to say maybe June. I went up and shot some video with him for another Discovery Channel show called Paranormal Caught on TV. That's going to feature that Redgate alien as well. So I mean, and then you have all the other History Channel. It's been building up for a couple of years now. It's like when people see that image, they're going to be pretty familiar with that image by the time they see it, especially when you can target the audience that is going to want to watch it. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking excited. Right?
Yeah. What I think is what I think is the most cool about it is the distribution part of it. Because I mean, when this works, you know, these sales funnels and marketing online and whatnot, that means that we've got the last puzzle piece to what we've been trying to do our entire lives, and that's the distribution side of things. And that can only grow from there. I mean, if you're selling 1 million copies, that's one thing, but then next you're looking at like going international or something like that. So I think that part of it is super freaking exciting. And yeah, if and when it explodes, this is just what we can do the rest of our lives, because we know that it works, and we know that we can do it from fucking Deer Lodge, Montana, which I think is way better than ever having to, you know, profit share or, you know, creative share or anything with some random stranger. It's like, we've been working on this shit since we were little kids. I'd rather just keep it our fucking inner circle that's been
and expand with other people and stuff. They can market it for us and help us market and pay them and do that kind of stuff and work. And
right.
yeah, and the good news tonight, I actually got a random ass TikTok video today. It's the first one that's starting to really hit that I've had hit since 3 weeks ago or whatever. Or maybe it was about a month ago. What day? Oh, it's like the 22nd. Yeah, it was like a month ago the last time I had one start to hit like this. So TikTok maybe finally released its throttle down. But you know what, though? Well, I've been complaining about TikTok. They throttle my account a lot, and I don't understand. Because you go on streaks that are crazy, but then they throttle you back to like, not nothing, but not like what you were just hitting before, doing the same stuff. But I'll tell you this. I've watched so many videos from other guys that go on there and complain about like, oh, TikTok's throttling. They're not sharing my videos out like usual. So I think it's a typical thing, but TikTok's I think they're really up and down. That's one of the main topics tonight is actually TikTok. I'm going to share some things on that. But yeah.
Your TikTok retirement was about as long as Tom Brady's football retirement. You were in and out. Huh?
I was planning on going 2 weeks. I lasted 5 days. Nope, I'm done. I announced this. I did a live stream for like 2 hours on it. And then 5 days later, I'm back on there. I'm back.
So how do you get more views, since we're going to talk about TikTok anyways? How do you get more views on there where, you know, like some videos doesn't make any sense, so get 1,000 views, then other ones I'm like, oh, this is going to kill it, and there's 150 views on there. Is that how quickly it explodes? How many people watch it right out of the gates? How does that even work?
So since I've actually gone through and studied it, it's their first algorithm is when they first start distributing it out. The watch time is the biggest factor. How many people watch your whole video? Then interaction, like comments and likes. But within the first 2 hours, it goes through the algorithm to determine if it's going to be something that people are going to really watch and like. It can be so fucking weird because I can do a Napoleon Dynamite one and it'll do okay, very okay-ish. But then another day, I'll do another Napoleon Dynamite one where I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid. I don't think this is funny, but I'll just throw it out there and see what happens. And it'll like skyrocket. You know, it's like what I did today. I was answering a question I had for a long, long time ago. Like, what was Grandma doing at the dunes or whatever? I just made a joke about it, and that one's like hitting really hard for some reason.
Yeah, it's nuts because I mean, like, I'll go on TikTok and it's just as addictive as anything. And they know their algorithm, so catch you with like the first video. Like today, I just was trying to go to TikTok just to see my where this video was or something, and they caught me with like this video of this person I always watch. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta watch that. Lo and behold, scrolling up 20, 25 videos later, you know, and I don't know how they choose. I mean, maybe I choose, maybe it chooses me, but it's all the things obviously I like to watch and that I probably watch for a longer period of time. But it's just super fucking interesting.
The algorithm mainly is watch time. Just like YouTube, watch time is the main thing. So it's like if you watch 2 seconds of video and keep scrolling, they're less likely to recommend that person to you again. But doesn't mean that your band not going to be shown to them ever again or whatever. But that's the main thing is watch time. But it's just like YouTube. TikTok's like YouTube on roids because, like I say, YouTube they shoot you down that you know, you go from like watching a video about cancer stem cell research and stuff like that, and then pretty soon you're watching a video on the moon landing hoax or something. But it's the same. But they led you through that trail though. I had to touch on that. It's just going the first thing that came to my head.
I'm sure that's like your last 20,000 views.
Like,
how is it the perfect distance away from the sun?
Dude, I watched I wouldn't say all the time, but I've watched more Earth conspiracies or flat Earth conspiracies. I have tried hard with it. I just can't do it. You ever heard of? I don't want to get off topic here, but you ever heard of I think it's called Big Earth theory or Larger Earth theory? It's this theory that we're only seeing this much of the Earth, but it's actually way bigger, and there's a bunch of other like landmass pieces and oceans and stuff that are way outside. It's a weird freaking theory.
Well, yeah, it's kind of fucked up unless our satellites are screwed up. Because you can go on your computer right now and see like all of Africa or whatever, and then zoom all the way into a city, a city block, and see somebody riding a bike.
Well,
so
that's with me. I work directly in Alaska with mobile satellites, and we had to set coordinates and stuff like that. Like, you can't do that if the Earth is flat. Like, it's you can't. Like, that's what just like cuts it for me. It's like everything else is like interesting, but when you start talking about satellites, it's like, all right, I'm out.
That's the one that has me most worried about, like, humanity probably, is the fact that like we it's like prevalent. A lot of people believe it, and it's just the easiest one to disprove. There's so many reasons to think it's not flat, but doggone it.
How do you fly all the way around the Earth if it's flat?
Exactly.
You leave Deer Lodge? Like, what do they say about that? I'm just wondering.
I honestly pay no attention, because it's the most, like, you could go live up to they have a live feed from the International Space Station, and you can see the round Earth. Like, there's no
right.
And when you see it, like, obviously when it's round, to those watching, it's round as in it does not show every single country on it. So you can't argue that it was flat and round. If someone's going to make that argument.
Yeah.
I've never even looked into the flat Earth bullshit, because I think you can just feel in your gut when something's like questionable. I love questioning things, but that one I'm like, I don't even feel like weird about that. Like, they're lying. The Earth is fucking flat. I don't like, you guys are just going way too fucking far.
Here's though where I cut things off. Is like, people are with more and more issues. They're labeling anybody's opinion that might not be 100% accurate as being fucking harmful to different individuals or whatever. And that's what I'm about to talk about with this guy. I'm about to bring on, but I'm going to show you here in a second. Like, where are we as a society where it's like people can't just speak freely? Because the more you try to censor people, it's like that teenage couple that you're like, they can't be together. The more you do that, the more they're going to want to be together. The more you censor people, the more they're going to go after this stuff. So where do you think about, like, where we at with censorship and stuff? It just seems like it's every other thing now.
I think it's boomeranging back, honestly. Like, I made that Facebook post and a TikTok today talking about that exact subject. The people with the microphone screaming the loudest doesn't mean they're right, So I think censorship got as out of control as it's ever been in our lives, 100%, and probably in the last 100 or 200 years. But I think it's starting to boomerang back, where the majority really doesn't care and they don't want to be censored. So people like us are just starting to say, no, fuck you, do whatever you want, cut your fucking dick off and, do cartwheels out in the street. It's your fucking life, but let me live my fucking life too, So yeah. I think we used to be a little more touch and go, like a little more, what am I trying to say, empathetic or whatever. But now we're just like, no, you guys have gone too fucking far. Just fuck off and get out of my face. I think that's where we're at.
Yeah, I think so too. But here's where I'm going to connect everything together here right now. And this is the main topic for tonight's show. I mean, you guys, if you've been on TikTok, you've probably seen this guy. You guys heard of Andrew Tate?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I've seen some of his stuff on TikTok. I don't.
If you've never been on TikTok before, Matt, you haven't seen him at all. You're not on TikTok though, right?
I'm barely scratching the surface of TikTok, but no.
So the guy, I'll just get an overview of what happened. It's like, so this guy basically took over TikTok, and I couldn't figure out how he did it for the longest time. The guy's, he's a British guy that's pretty hardcore right wing. He says a lot of stuff that's really freaking true that goes against mainstream media, but he also goes to like everybody, goes to the extremes with like misogyny and things like that. This guy, you know why you saw his videos all the time on TikTok? So get this, you'll like this guy. He was running a fucking pyramid scheme where people sign up for this thing called Hustlers University. It's only like $50 to sign up. And once they got on there, they were given incentive to say, if anybody that signs up to Hustlers University through your affiliate link, you'll get a commission off of that. So they had all these people going on TikTok reposting these videos that he would send them, these viral videos that would get tons of engagement. So he did that. Imagine taking your videos and multiplying that by 4, by 5, by 10, by like 100 different people reposting your videos on TikTok. So he went from like freaking a nobody to like super celebrity internet star or whatever in a matter of like months.
Wow.
Do you know that Mahomes?
No, I mean, pyramid scheme, that's like, I'm okay with censoring that because you're preying on people with pyramid schemes. Like that's, like hustlers, like it already sounds like a shitty pyramid scheme.
So the thing that makes it a shitty pyramid scheme is it's not totally a pyramid scheme because after the $50, there's nothing really, like you can't go out and sell. It's not quite like you sell like thousands of dollars of insurance or something like that, like those insurance pyramid schemes. It's not quite like that. But they try to get people in those extra club or whatever. So it's not like a total pyramid scheme. The pyramid, though, is designed to have a bunch of people sharing his content 24/7. That's what the pyramid's really about. But you think about how stupid it is. You get like a 50% commission on $50. It's like $25 to share this dude's videos.
Yeah, it's not.
So was he just trying to make money and he used TikTok to do that? Or did he decipher the TikTok algorithm and that's why he went on TikTok?
He deciphered the TikTok algorithm and the Instagram, Facebook Reels algorithm to get these videos out there as much as possible. His face everywhere as much as possible. So I couldn't figure it out because I was like, how am I seeing this guy on all these videos? I clicked on the channel. I was like, that's not actually him. So why the fuck are all these people posting these videos over and over again? So I couldn't figure out forever. I was like, why does this guy keep popping up? And he says some interesting freaking shit. But anyways, I'll share this really quick. So I got quite a bit of stuff here for tonight, unlike last week.
We were dialed in last week.
Last week was awesome.
So Andrew Tate banned from YouTube, TikTok. He got banned from everything. Like he's just like the cockiest bastard alive.
How much money did he make?
I don't know how much money. He's already a millionaire before, but he has this grand plan to be all over social media, all this stuff. But here, we'll go down here. I guess you can start reading this. I guess Mahomes, what I'm trying to say is he's tapping on this market of people that are pissed off against the system, against mainstream media about all the bullshit they throw from him. So he has he has a market that's really targeted and really works for him really well. So he lost 4.7 million followers on Instagram. He must have had the people posting the videos. So he got over billions of views on TikTok, like billions. And what he got pulled down for is misogyny. If you watch a lot of videos, they're very misogynist. It's a hateful ideology not tolerated on TikTok. So TikTok eventually, they're the last people to pull him off. They eventually investigated his accounts and pulled the videos off. And then they're starting to terminate channels associated with Tate for multiple violations. Again, people are reposting Tate's videos on there. And again, YouTube's doing the same thing because he did this across all these social media channels. Where it's like if YouTube, all these platforms catch one of his mega fans trying to repost his stuff on their platform, they're going to take it down. And here's his take on it. And we'll watch a few videos here in a second and get more of an idea of who this guy is. It is very unfortunate old videos of me where I was playing a comedic character, because this is interesting because the stuff he said is almost comedic when you watch it, have been taken out of context, amplified to the point where people believe absolutely false narratives about me. Painting was anti-women. So it's been active in far-right circles forever. So some of the things he said that got him taken down, comparing women to property, graphically describing how he would assault a woman for accusing him of cheating, and claiming that men would rather date 18, 19-year-olds over women in their mid-20s because the former had sex with fewer men. This statement right here, I don't like the other ones, but this statement, that's a pretty factual statement if you really want to, whether you think that's disgusting or not or whatever. In general, men don't really want to date people that every man, let's just be honest here, most men would rather date someone that has not had sex yet or had sex very few times. Not that that's an entirely 100% fact, but anyways, it's been a false image on repeat. I'll always have millions of fans around the world. Now, this is where it gets so stupid. My platform will be a beacon of light, teaching people of all genders and races how to respect one another for years to come. Now these fans can not learn important lessons of love. Oh, do you want to see some of his lessons of love, Mahomes?
Yeah, I do.
Here. Sorry, Matt, you missed that part.
No, I heard it. It's just I accidentally unplugged my camera.
Okay. So his last thing, he unfortunately cannot teach lessons of love to all genders across the way. Really unfortunate. So let's just hear some lessons of love from Andrew Tate himself.
Free to say what he thinks in the way he wants to say it. If political correctness or hate speech or whatever, if a man can't even express himself the way he thinks it, is he free? And what they do first is they restrict your speech, because if they restrict your speech, then they can start to restrict your thoughts. If you're not allowed to ever say it, then you're probably not going to think it so often. This is why it's done on purpose. So I don't think that society is very free at all. And I think that in regards to keeping our employment, keeping our money coming in, making sure we don't lose our social medias, every single person has to censor themselves to some degree. Every single thing in life, even friendships are a value exchange. You think of who your best friend is, right? You gain something and he gains something through your interaction, right? Either it makes you feel happy or he can help you with some things or you help each other. Every single thing in life is a value exchange.
I don't have a jet. Does that mean I'm broke?
Sounds like it, bro. What are you waiting in lines at the airport? Brokey.
Every single man wants to fuck his female friend because if all these girls go, he's just my friend. Yeah, put on 20 stones, see if he wants to talk to you. Fuck no. Oh yeah, protect your spirit when you're fat. Oh, you can't do it anymore. You lost your spiritual powers, now you're ugly. Isn't that funny? How'd that work out?
Here's a test where you meet a bitch for the first time. Say, what are you doing next week? Correct answer. Oh, nothing, just home. Attractive. That's what I want to hear. You ain't been nowhere. You don't go nowhere. Just home. What are you doing next week? Oh, well, my friend has an art exhibition, and then my girl knows this guy who's doing this thing, and we're going to this party, this is a launch for this new clothing line, and then on Wednesday, it's my friend's birthday, her name's Chloe, she's so funny, and we're gonna go here, and then this, that. She starts giving you this busy schedule. Ho. Slut, shut up.
A labor of love. So ridiculous.
I can tell that's way more effort than walking.
Traffic's going this way. The traffic stopped. Traffic, she comes out. Instead of just turning right and going on her way, she comes and just crashes into this car. Female. And I sat there and I thought, how are women allowed to drive? How? Females can't drive. A man is good enough at driving to know he's not a good driver, but women are such bad drivers, they genuinely think they're okay drivers. It's remarkable. If you're truly shit at something, you can't even tell you're crap, right? If you're completely deaf, you don't know you're bad at piano, because you're an idiot. You're telling me I spent $3 million on cars, and then Earth decided to snow with no consideration. The fact that every single day I drive a supercar.
I just pause that for a second. So, what do you think of that so far, Mahomes?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell. It's just, the message of love that he sprouts is touching. I feel I'm moved emotionally. I think probably he said a lot of messed up shit there, but I think when he was kind of on his woman shouldn't be allowed to drive rant, when he said, if you're deaf, do you know you're not good at piano? No, because you're a fucking idiot. So he just, with that sentence, implied that all deaf people are stupid. And I think that's probably my biggest takeaway.
In the classic sense of the word.
What'd you make of that, Kelly?
I have seen that guy before, so now I know who you're talking about. But I don't know. I truly believe no matter how bad something is, I don't think there should be censorship whatsoever. I think you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want in a free society. Now, there's consequences for what you say. There's absolutely consequences for whatever you want to say, and you got to deal with those consequences. But nothing should be censored, because once you start censoring one thing, the next thing's going to go slippery slope. I've heard it all before. I just don't think we should censor a single fucking thing in a free society. So, although some of the shit was like, God, man, you don't hear it often because of, the society that we live in right now.
Yeah.
It was kind of almost refreshing to hear some of that shit. Cause it's like, he's talking like we fucking might have talked in high school, before a football game.
I'll say this too. How much is he actually fucking serious about? Like,
Well, clearly some of it, the intonation is clearly jokey on some of it, you know?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Mahomes, not that he would say like derogatory, but in high school saying stuff where it's like, you don't sit there and say after every time, I'm just joking. This is a joke. You know,
Right.
you do it, but on social media, he does it obviously for attention. He does it to get real people in or whatever. But
look at I know we're going to go to Matt here in a second, but look at any comedian that goes on stage. Still, a good comedian has that shock value still, you know what I mean? And they don't get up there every 2 seconds. Oh, I'm just joking with you guys. That's not what a comedian does. So how the fuck do you know if he's joking or not joking? Maybe he's just going for the shock value.
I'll lead Matt in this with this. Like, how did we go from Eminem can say whatever the fuck he wants? If you listen to his old CDs, I still listen today. They're horrific what he says.
They're by today's standards, they're pretty brutal, yeah.
Yeah, and then I watched the roast last night. I went on and said way worse, way less shit than Eminem said. And today's side is it's just like a pin needle could drop. But those same fucking moron girls would suck his fucking cock during the Super Bowl show. So that's where it's like so hypocritical to me. Is like, you're now calling me out for saying shit, but you worship the guy who went on stage during the Super Bowl to fucking who talking about raping his own mother and shit. But it's like now you're a Puritan. It's like fuck.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
Sucking your cock at the Super Bowl. Like that. When I saw that guy,
Hey, Matt, get closer like you usually do to your mic.
I think your mic unplugged or something. So.
Oh God, dang it!
Check it one time real quick.
This is our longest ongoing running bit.
Longest ongoing what?
Is working.
This is our longest bit.
Yeah, you sound good.
You're good, man.
Okay, yeah, stupid thing unplugged. When I saw that guy, I thought he was very entertaining. So, like me, if I was scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and he's just rifling off all this shit, like, yeah, you say you're going to a birthday party, then blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're a hoe, then all this shit. Okay, then he goes on to the next thing. By the time I got time to digest it, it's like, shit, I remember a couple funny things, but as far as, like, him being, like, offensive towards a particular group, I don't know. I didn't get that. I thought it was just funny. And I think, I don't know. It sounds like someone who would be like super offended would not like this guy. But I thought the clip you showed was pretty funny to me. It's just like something stupid you'd see on Jersey Shore with some big fucking meathead going in a montage. That's what I took it as.
Yeah, so I'll say this. I'm going to show some clips of some different people. You can kind of get the drift of what I'm saying with TikTok. But this is how ridiculous the other side of this is. You have teachers, Kelly. Teachers have came out and said, we have to go to our classrooms and tell the kids that what he says on TikTok is not right. It's not right. He is a danger to our children. Imagine teachers going into a classroom and saying that. Like, literally, that was one of the reasons they took it down.
Yeah, no, it's insanity. I was just thinking, like, I seriously would put money on that the majority of society, especially Americans, sit back and watch shit like that and like comedians and stuff. I know they do, because if they didn't, they wouldn't exist. And they sit back and go, oh my God, what the fuck did he say? Holy shit, did you hear that? Most people aren't offended about it whatsoever. They're just shocked and they're hiding in their own little neck of the woods or their own closet, you know?
Shit.
But I will also say, I alluded to it earlier, you have to own what you say too. If you're completely confident in your skin and in your bones and what you say, I think you can almost legitimately do anything and say anything. But you can't have that air of, I might be offending someone. If there's even 1% that you believe that in your head, that's going to be transparent. And I think it ruins the thing. You know, it's almost like depends on who you are and how comfortable you are in your own skin. You can do whatever you want.
100%. And like those same teachers are going to be like, you know, lecturing their kids about that. But what about that guy that performed at the halftime show? Oh, he was joking about raping his mom and brutally killing his ex-wife. Those were jokes.
Well, the best. I love the wet ass pussy WAP song, right? Because all of our again, not to make it political, but it is. But all of our liberal friends are, oh my God, way to stand up for women's rights and blah blah blah. I'm like, she's talking about her wet ass pussy. It's okay for this to go on.
Andrew Tate had a video on that, and he's like, this girl is literally telling you how she wants to be fucked. That was his take on that video. That was kind of funny. So, what do you think, Mahomes?
I think, this harkens back to you talking about teachers protecting their kids. I just think back to, Coach Cutler. Anytime he heard a swear word, he'd break that CD so he could save us, and then curse us out at practice later.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. He was doing the Lord's work back then. He didn't have to worry about social media. He just had to worry about, those explicit lyrics.
Yeah. I agree with you, Pat, though, when you say like Eminem and shit. Hearing him at the Super Bowl, obviously he played Lose Yourself, I think, which is one of his cleanest songs. But we were going on a cruise the other day just up in the mountains. I was like, Eminem came on. We just started listening to every single song Eminem. And it's like, holy shit, you're right. How the hell did he get away with some of this stuff, yet he's at the Super Bowl?
If Eminem did that shit today, he would be boycotted off those labels. He would not be allowed on any label or anything. Is that straight up?
He was like, I remember parents, especially back then, were not happy with Eminem, and there was kind of an uproar. But then it was just like, it was kind of to your point, like, you keep it from kids long enough. I think the uproar helped his career in a lot of ways because people wanted it because they weren't supposed to get it.
It did, but also that point back in those days, it was an uproar, but then you just fucking moved on and it was over and whatever,
Well, that's part of social media. Like, if we had social media back then, it probably would have been worse because people feel like, okay, I'll say my piece on whatever. Like, someone walks by and I'm in Butte outside a mall getting ready to buy the CD and whatever. Someone's going to ask, oh, how do you feel about this? And then you move on. You don't spend your next 2 weeks commenting or starting some sort of like group. That everyone thinks their opinion is important. And I understand it's ironic because I'm on a podcast right now. But like, it's not important. Like, I don't care really about, I know people don't give a shit about what I have to say based on the views of this podcast. But I certainly don't give a shit what you have to say in general, specifically, whether it's political or like, I don't care. You're not going to change my mind probably about what I think.
Yeah.
See, I'm kind of on the same token. Nobody cares about your opinion. That's kind of the take that I go with TikTok and Facebook. And it's taken me a while to get there, and I'm still not quite there yet. But just learning, like, who gives a fuck? Like, these are my own thoughts that I am putting out there. This is my family. This is an idea. This is a joke. I've gotten to the point where it's like, I don't give a shit. This is on my own shit. So obviously you must care because you're watching my shit, But it just gives me a sense of freedom to be like not scared, like, oh fuck, I was that way 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 100%. I'll admit it. Where I was like, oh shit, man, should I post this? Every post. And then I got to the point where I was like, if I post it, I don't take it down. That's a rule of mine. If I post it, I do not take it down. Whether I look fucking fat, if I sound stupid, if the point makes no sense, if anybody's arguing on my post, I don't take it down. And now I have like complete freedom because I'm just like, I don't care. It's my page. If you don't like it, well, get the fuck off my page, I guess.
So, but Facebook has gotten terrible where everybody's offended about everything on Facebook. Snapchat, obviously, you can't crack jokes on Snapchat to people anymore. They'll start boycotts over you. And then you got...
just had to sneak that in there.
They're going to show me that. They're going to be like, hey, Pat, you're going to get boycotted in the year 2021 over this terrible message you sent. And they show me that message. I'd be looking at it, like, okay, where's the message? That's it? What the fuck are you talking about? But TikTok is a place where you can more freely express yourself and not deal with all that ridiculous backlash. I also think that video, when you're on video expressing yourself, you can hear tonality and things of that nature. So it's a lot different than like Facebook. When I write a Facebook post, it's way different than me going on stage and saying that same exact line. So
yeah. I was just say, like, I know I was just going to say that point too before I forgot it was a lot of people on Facebook just hide behind their keyboard and they're arguing away, writing this mile-long thing about something so freaking stupid, something in their lodge, like their toilet had overflowed and they can't find a plumber or something stupid like that. But yeah, if you actually put your face out there, if you want to, I think it's much more credibility to you than, hiding behind your keyboard, because that's the easy thing to do. At least people know what you look like and sound like, if you want to go that route.
Yeah.
Well, it's so much different nowadays. As you just said, face to face versus behind your keyboard. Like we all remember being like in high school and you just go down the hall and someone would crack a joke, and sometimes somebody wouldn't like that joke, and maybe you'd double down, maybe you'd apologize, but it was over. Like, nobody was talking about that shit an hour later. But nowadays it's just like something small that would have been small goes on and on and on because it's written and it's out there and they can put it up there, and whoever's reporting on it or whatnot can change the tonality and say, oh, look, he called blah 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 sluts. But it's like, well, in high school we were dropping the slut bomb and way worse things, left and right, and nobody batted an eye. So it's just, I don't know, it's a fucking weird society that we live in now. And if you just get, like I was trying to say, we just get past that caring so much, like, people are gonna hate this post or whatever. If you just get past that and just can see that person face to face, like we're doing right here, it's way less daunting. And you're just like, no, if I saw that person in public, we'd be totally fine.
Yeah, you know what the weirdest thing? Like people that like boycotted me on Facebook or Snapchat or don't talk to me on Snapchat, all these apps, we're like fully friends on TikTok. They watch like all my videos. Isn't that fucking weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate
isn't that? It's like, I don't want to talk to you on all these apps. I don't want anything to do with you. Like on every single video.
Yeah. Another weird thing that Facebook changes is you post someone and someone's talking shit to you. Like, wow, they'd never say this to my face in real life, or that doesn't even sound like them. Blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, it pissed me off. Did you see that person in Safeway the other day? And it just creates an awkward thing. So it's like, so if they were talking shit to someone else, like we were saying back in high school, ignorance is bliss. You wouldn't even know about it. But since, they're whatever, it creates this weird social interaction when you actually do come face to face with that person who pissed you off or whatever.
That's why lately for me is like when I'm drinking or whatever, or even when I'm not drinking, I've had so many different thoughts I want to put on Facebook. Not offensive at all, but I'm like, no, I don't want to hear the stupid fucking comments or this or that or whatever. And, I'm just going to do my bread and butter, which is just fuck around on TikTok.
Well, it is time consuming and it's draining. So if you're going to put out something that's the least bit controversial, or you think someone else might take it in a controversial way, it's so fucking draining. And it's like, is that really what you want to do with your day? That's why, again, like if I'm going to post something, I'm just like, I'm putting the post out there. Yeah, everyone's curious, is it getting likes or people commenting? I'm curious, but I've tried to completely detach myself from emotion. Like, and since then, I haven't seen like that many negative comments on my shit. There's a great Key and Peele skit. I don't know if I said this on the podcast last week or whatnot, but has anybody seen that Key and Peele skit where like one of them's texting the other one and he's super happy? Oh, what's that?
I think I might have seen you showed me it, or you're either telling me about it.
Yeah, and he's just like, the one guy's just like, oh, he wants to meet up for lunch. Then the other guy texts him back. He's just pissed off. Now he wants to meet for lunch. It's just how you can read something, and we all do it. So you should go check out that sketch. It's fucking hilarious.
It's like I love writing, but nobody can read what you're saying when you're writing just because you can't get the emotion. But it's so funny for me. Like when I post a really funny video and then I go down and I see someone like it, I'm like, you're actually the person I was making fun of in that video.
Yeah.
But
that's why I
TikTok.
usually wait. Yeah. I usually wait a couple months if someone pisses me off, so then they have no way of deciphering who I'm talking about.
I just usually get right out there and just get off my chest.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious since you pull up people who talk about you on Facebook in the comment section. Right on.
There hasn't been one in the comment section in a while, unfortunately.
The first bullshitter.
So here, there's one. This is one more video on Tate getting banned, and I have a couple other ones I'm going to show you.
A couple hours ago, it wouldn't let me. I have good people in the case. I trust due process with Instagram. I'm actually quite understanding of their position. I believe that God will prevail. The truth will prevail.
So Andrew Tate has now been permanently banned from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's 5 million followers gone virtually overnight. Obviously, people have mixed opinions about this decision, with many calling it censorship, but also with many other people saying this was a necessary move. With a lot of detractors' main point being that he was poisoning the youth, he was poisoning these young boys' minds.
Show that if you're a fan of Andrew Tate, you're a respectful person. And I was trying to teach respect to all these millions of young men. If I'm in love with a woman and she comes with me and she insists on doing OnlyFans, my answer to retain my control and my respect in my relationship is for her to pay me. You're the kind of person who feels like they need therapy. You're useless. And now, who knows where they're going to go, right?
So that's a final take for you. He acts like he didn't say anything at all. I agree he should be taken off, but the way he sugarcoats it like he did nothing, like he was just a nice guy out there. Just want to spread love. So I want to touch it.
Is he English? Where's he from?
He's from Great Britain. I think
He's from where?
Great Britain, but he has some connection. We lived in America for a while or something like that, and maybe he was born in America. I don't know his whole history, but he's been between America and Great Britain, but he's mostly like in the UK. That's why he's asked. His dad's from the UK at least. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he still lives in the UK right now. I know he lives in Romania, according to what he says. But I want to pull up some videos now. A couple of videos, like 3 videos I got here. They're short, and I just want to talk about when you go down this algorithm of TikTok, and this is what I'm showing, like how the algorithm you can go down can get pretty like misogynist. I'm not a women's rights activist or anything like that, but like if you get into this algorithm, it can teach people like this idea that all women are the same, all these things that aren't really true. I just want to show you this. This guy's called Sneeko, and he has some good videos, but he has a shitload of anti-women videos that women are all the same. He's kind of a funny guy. I watch him every once in a while. He's funny, but here he is. It's called Sneeko. Similar to Andrew Tate, just way younger.
Men is just the last guy that they if you ask them like what do you think about men, it's just the last guy that they've been with, and they'll just apply and like, oh, he was a Sagittarius. It's very simple surface level stuff.
So, his is pretty quick, but imagine just I'll play another one. Just imagine though you're on TikTok and you're going down this rabbit hole and these videos continue to play.
Sexy and wear makeup. Are they seeking attention?
No.
Cat! What are they doing?
We just want to feel good for ourselves. I just put on makeup and all these lashes and everything just so that I can be by myself. When I'm alone in my apartment, I'm going to go sit in my closet with my lashes and my makeup and my heels on and be freezing cold for me.
So I'll play one more and then this is the last one. This guy's kind of funny.
I've been slapped, or how many of you have been attacked by a female? You ever been slapped by a girl and you couldn't do anything to retaliate because you know you would go to jail? Girls know so strongly that they won't get in any trouble for putting their hands on you that they get away with it. They're like children. It's like,
I was just emotional. I was just drunk.
But imagine if you're on TikTok and those videos are shown to you constantly for like hours. What is your perspective going to be like on the women in general? You know what I mean? Like you're gonna think all women are just these terrible people 24/7. That's where I kind of draw the line. I don't think it should be boycotted necessarily or censored, but that's why I think people are worried, especially TikTok, because once the algorithm kicks in, it kicks in way harder than YouTube. You go down this shit 24/7. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Unfortunately, I think we're for intelligent guys, so it's hard to judge somebody that sits there and watches this shit and goes, oh yeah, oh women, you know, and after watching some videos or lots of videos even, oh yeah, no, fuck women, you know. But for me, man, it's just like I separate the wheat from the chaff. It's like that guy's like a fucking stand-up comedian. It's like, yeah, I mean, there's some truth to the statements and that's why they're funny, but I don't believe in like the YouTube or sorry, the TikTok censoring or banning people like him or the other guy we're talking about, because I just hope that people are smarter than that and they know like reality from a 12-second video they watch.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's the only problem I have is this guy is talking specifically about a certain group of women. There is a certain group of women out there that are exactly like the way he's talking about. Exactly. But that doesn't compound to every woman on planet Earth. If you're watching over and over again, you younger, you might think that fuck, that's every girl out there. Like for me personally, have I ever met I probably have, but I've ever had like interactions with someone where I thought they were just like that. Not really. maybe a couple, but yeah. What do you think, Mahomes?
My opinion is going to be super unpopular, and is, if we had like more people, they'd be like, oh geez, what Nazi Germany Mahomes. But I think at some point, like for the good of society, there should be, if they can have all these algorithms that can like, hey, this is the video you'd like to watch, then they can certainly come up with an algorithm that like once you hit X amount of minutes or hours consumed of social media a day, your account should be locked until the next day. Like you shouldn't be able to go in, spend half your day, like 12 hours on TikTok, or like
it's, if you go on there, I'm telling you right now, TikTok's far more addicting than I'm at the point where I've read so many books, I know that what I put in my mind becomes reality, but it's so fucking addicting. So that's why I agree with you. Like the problem is the point of these social media apps, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, they're all the same. The point is to keep them, it used to be get them on the platform as much as possible. It changed over the years to get them to stay on the platform as long as possible. So you're right. They should have that, but that defeats their entire purpose of the entire company.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they would never do it. And then that's not free will. That's not whatever. But you're right, because the whole point, the longer you're on there, the more ad money they can sell to people. Say like, hey, people were on Facebook on average 45 minutes. So that means as they scroll, they're going to be able to see, like Luscovar Motors or whatever, like whatever person's paying for. So I tried to limit myself. I put like a cap on of like an hour and a half, and then it just goes dark.
Okay. There are apps that you can do that or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good, and there's like it's not. They purposely make it like not hard. Like it'll pop up and be like, "You've reached your hour and a half. Click this button to continue scrolling." Or like, so it's not like it shuts it down.
I think there's reasons for everybody to get on social media, and most of those reasons are probably shitty. It's really hard to say. It's like if it's just 100% for attention, then I think that's really freaking bad and toxic, which sounds stupid because it's like, well, everyone just does it for attention. But our underlying thing is to stay like in the public's eye as much as we can in any way possible, because we are trying to make a living out of this, people watching our movies and people coming to our shows and stuff like that. So I can't speak for Pat or Matt, but that's honestly, a lot of times I'm like, I might just delete all my shit because it seems like life would be a lot more peaceful. But I know like this is still what I want to do for a living. Therefore, you have to be in the public eye all the time.
And I found ways to not consume anything on these channels whenever I'm on there. Facebook, whenever I go on Facebook, I only go on my computer, and the link to my Facebook goes directly to the list of pages that I run. I never go to the feed at all because Facebook just makes me feel like shit, to tell you the truth. So I just don't go on it at all. And then Instagram, the account I do have on Instagram is targeted towards, the main account is targeted towards like business people, or whatever. But even their shit gets annoying after a while. And then TikTok's the only one where TikTok and YouTube has high quality content, and TikTok does have a lot of high quality content too. But here's what I'll say about TikTok. If you're a comedian or a content creator, TikTok's the best that's ever been invented, period. Like if any of us would go on there, like, or say the rest of you guys would go on there, say for like 3 or 4 months, kind of like I did, just testing material, you'd eventually find a rhythm and you'd be like, okay, this is what works. This is what brings in the views. This is what I'm doing. Like I found I had so many people reach out to me, like mainly girls actually, give me so many different tips and advice. And I just asked them because they'd say, I love your TikTok stuff. And I'd say, yeah, what do you think about like the Napoleon stuff? Or what do you think about this stuff? And they give me feedback on. The Napoleon stuff I decided to take off with was because that was a tip from a girl. Like, what do you think about the Napoleon stuff? She said the stuff is gold. It's like, okay, well maybe I should just pretty much fully commit to Napoleon because that's targeted and people really like that. But I'm telling you, like, unlike YouTube and all these other channels, TikTok's the first ever really, really pro content creator app ever created, where they want people like you can become your own celebrity on TikTok very, very fucking fast, like really fast.
See, and that's the thing that I don't necessarily want to do. I don't want to be necessarily a TikTok celebrity or YouTube celebrity or anything like that. I just want people to come to our fucking theater shows. I want to pack the house at our theater. Or when we land movies, I want people to go watch our movies. That's my only reason to hold on to that shit. But I know that one day, it's already in the back of my head, like one day I'm going to be like, okay, we've landed a few movies. We kind of have beat this system, and I think I'm fucking done. Like, I don't need to be so in the public, and I'll take down all my shit, or I'll make it private, and I'll just be Facebook friends with 100 people or whatever. That day will come sometime in my life, because I don't give a shit about being friends with some fucking guy I worked at Jimmy John's with, 20 years ago in Milwaukee, just so he'll watch my TikTok show,
I think, yeah.
Let's say, what did he do to you? He's such a bad friend.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He turkeyed my Tom.
That's where I'm like a lot different than everybody else. It's like, I want to be like a content creator and not be like, use it as personal business or personal stuff. I want to watch what people are doing for the most part. And the best thing I read this book. I've read a lot of books on social media, but Russell Brunson said, focus on one social media app and get that down really fucking well and make your presence known there until you have it down really, really well. Then go on to like another one. And like right now I'm doing TikTok and YouTube shorts. I'll take my TikToks, put on YouTube shorts, see how they perform. Certain videos on TikTok will get like 500 views. I'll put it on YouTube Shorts. It'll get like 5,000 views. It's like it's hard to tell. So it's really interesting. So vice versa, TikTok video will get like 7,000 views, and on YouTube it'll get like 700 views or something like that. But I look at this. The battle right now is the shorts, the vertical flying. I told Kelly to film horizontal, but the vertical, because everybody's on mobile. The vertical shorts, reels. That's the battle right now. It's TikTok versus Instagram, Facebook Reels versus YouTube Shorts. That's what the battle is right now between the social media companies. And TikTok's
I'm trying to be like as inspired as possible when I put a post out or something. Like, a couple times, not gonna lie, I've done a post in the past where it's just like, oh, okay, I haven't said anything in a few days, let's force this post. But I'm like, no, I want to be inspired. So if I'm thinking about something, having this conversation in my head and it hits me like, man, that's really interesting. Then I'll slap it out there, or I'll film it or whatnot. But I'm really trying to only do shit I'm inspired by and stuff that I'm not trying to force, because I think that it's just funner and it's more real and you really believe in what you're doing,
Yeah. I just test stuff out on TikTok and it hits. The dumbest stuff I do sometimes hits way more than thought out stuff. But anyways, Mahans, what do you think about all this before we go into the 48 laws of power?
Oh, gosh. I couldn't help, but I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, are we about to round the horses, or is Pat going to try and make this like twice as long to make up for the short episode?
I think we got about 10 minutes of some power here. Get caught up, at least another 2 hours to get caught up in the 48 laws of power.
We only got 3 more laws, and people, and by people I mean me, have been waiting for them.
Okay. The question I have right now is, where do we lead off on? I know we're somewhere between 7 and 8. Get others to do the work for you, but always take credit. Did we do that one?
Yes, I believe we did.
Make other people come to you. Use bait as necessary.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about that one.
Okay, so this is this is a good one. So law 8 of 48 laws of power: make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. For negotiations or meetings, it is always wise to lure others into your territory or the territory of your choice. You have your bearings while they see nothing familiar and are subtly placed on the defensive. Like coming into the lion's den. What do you think about that, Matt?
I guess I like that strategy. I would say it's definitely more the noble route to go. What I got out of that, and I could be completely wrong, but what I got out of that is more like lead by your actions instead of your fucking words.
Oh, that was actually a previous one, to tell you the truth. Or was that coming up?
I don't know. And I didn't mean to say the F word there. It just kind of slipped out.
Yeah, that was that's on there.
That's number 9.
Oh, that's number 9. Okay, yeah, that's actually the next one.
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't think we did. I don't think we talked about Law 7 because we were only doing 3 at a time, I believe.
I thought we did. Get others to do work for you, but always take credits. That kind of explains itself. No notes there. But what do you think about those? Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, if we continue to do 3 at a time, then we'll know where we're at for the next time we talk about this.
So what do you think about those laws that we just talked about, Mahomes?
I mean, it's always good to have other people do your work. I don't think in terms of like leadership, you have to prove that you can do the work yourself. So I know this is a law of power, not necessarily a law of leadership. And then, yeah, I mean, everyone, I think anytime you host a meeting, you know, I think of the meetings we've been on back when we, you know, started the theater all those years ago. Like, we definitely weren't on our home turf. We were in an old prison room. And I think, like, had we been at a neutral site or, you know, at your guys' house or someplace like that, we probably would have felt a little more comfortable. So that's always, anytime you can meet in a place that you basically, since you're there, you kind of control the room, as it were, you know, basically anytime you agree to meet with someone in a certain place that's not your place, you're already kind of submitting to, okay, like, we're following your agenda, essentially. So I think that's just, in general, just as like in sales, right? Like, if you work at somewhere, you would like them to be where you're at because you're more likely to close a deal at that point.
Yeah, 100%. That's a big thing in your own confines and stuff. What do you think, Kelly?
I just think all of these, or at least this one for sure, is not something to be forced, but something to recognize when it happens. And you know, you don't have to like refuse. No, I'm not coming down there. You come over to my office now. You know, I would say for sure on number 8, the biggest thing is I wouldn't go out of my way. You know what I mean? To meet, unless like you were gaining something from that. I wouldn't go out of my way, but I don't think it's something where it's like, no, you don't come to my office, go fuck yourself. You know, and then the deal.
I'd say I'd apply this. I don't want to sound like Andrew Tate here, but to like relationships. She's like, you want to go to my house first? I'll be like, no fucking way. No fucking way. No way that's happening. My house first, and probably at least maybe a couple months later, I'll maybe decide to go to your house.
Yeah. Well, and I'm looking at all these from mainly like a business standpoint. And again, what I meant by like not forcing this stuff, but just kind of recognizing when it happens. I've listened to all kinds of shit outside of even this publication, but where they talk about like status, you know, being above someone taller if they're sitting or, you know, standing on something where you taller than them.
Overrated. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, a lot of that body language shit's honestly.
Yeah, I'm saying you shouldn't be thinking like, okay, how can I gain status on this motherfucker? But it's come into my mind a few times when I'm in that position. And I've been on both sides, like where I'm having like kind of an important meeting and I'm sitting and this person's standing and like lecturing me or whatever, talking to me. And I'm just like, oh, they got status right now, you know, but it's not something you force.
Yeah, I would say the biggest body language, I would say, Mahomes knows this from sale, the biggest tip for body language I'd ever say is if you're talking to anybody at all, watch what they're doing and just kind of mirror what they're doing. Because you don't ever want to be like, no one wins by the way, being like, oh, fuck you. You know? No one wins by doing
No, it's not especially like
if you're intentionally doing that.
And you can't, especially this day and age, it's not like the 80s and 90s where you could kind of like bully / manipulate people into a sale. Like you gotta lead them there, and then if they want it, they'll take it. You can, I don't want to say you can trick people into buying stuff, but you can like. It's not in the old day of just like you know, like the Wolf of Wall Street. Like people are gonna be like, yeah, no, and hang up the phone.
Oh, so my brass balls say different.
Hey, Pat, I don't understand what's wrong with going to her house first, because I think that's the best option. Because then you can ghost whenever you want.
Oh shit! I never thought about.
You might have a stage 5 clinger that you have to kick out of your bed while your parents are outside.
If I go to her house, do I have to meet her fucking friends? Do I have to meet her parents? Am I going to walk into just a trap and be like, oh, this guy is really weird when he gets around people?
I don't know. Yeah. I guess in a way, it plays into the point of like they're at their home, but like anytime that would happen, and it's been a long time since I was on a date, you know, for the first time or going to some girl's house for the first time. But I always felt like that was a challenge for me, and I liked it. Like I like to be like, all right, I got to really like put on the dog today. You know, I gotta be impressive. So I always kind of like that aspect of it. And to Matt's point, it's always like, okay, you know, then if it's not going well, I don't have to be like, hey, can you leave? Because I'm here and I'm good here. but I don't want you to be.
I just, my biggest problem is like I walk in their place, the first thing I think is like, this is not going to go well. Why does he talk more? Why does he most social? Why does he sit there? It's like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I don't feel like fucking talking. I just go there and kill it. I just sit there and say nothing in turn. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you're like Jim Cameron from that Comedy Night skit. I don't fucking care.
Let's go in the room and get it on.
So yeah, you'll be surprised about how Cameron. My skit was going so well with Cameron. Happy me and Cameron on stage, and he skipped half a page ahead during Comedy Night and fucked an entire skit up.
No, that's not. No, I'm not ready to believe that.
All right, let's get on to the next rule here.
Oh fuck!
I'll call this Matt's rule since he actually named it during this. Is win through your actions, never through your argument. I actually like this one. I think every once in a while, like you need to go out and state what you actually feel and state like something that can manipulate people or whatever, or state what you're doing. But there's a lot of times just shutting the fuck up and just focusing on winning, and that's your biggest victory by far. Your biggest victory will always be winning by far, rather what you say.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I was gonna say it kind of relates to something I noticed the other day. So, two Deer Lodge dudes, they had this thread, and I was just on Facebook scrolling, and one of them was just talking mad shit about Deer Lodge. Who's from Deer Lodge? We all grew up with him. He's like, "Hey, you need to get out of there, cesspool. It's just for alcoholics, retirees, and blah 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 blah."
So, man, not to cut you off here, but I think this is warranted.
Facebook comment section.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Well,
you're
yeah,
talking
go
about the
ahead.
same thing. Oh, I was just saying, like, I get all heated. Oh my god, I'm gonna get on there and state my opinion. And you're like, wait a second, look who I'm looking, like their profile. Look who I'm looking at right now. It's like, why the hell am I wasting my time?
Yeah, like fuck you and your shitty little theater.
God, yeah, shit.
There's one, I can't remember what the fucking argument was about. There's one that we had no involvement in. It was like a super long argument in Deer Lodge on Facebook. I was up in Alaska reading it. And right through the middle, this person starts bashing us like Cutler Brothers and shit. And Corey Maher, of all people, is on there defending us. It was so fucking. Remember that, Kelly?
I do remember that, yeah. Well, I think that's how you know you're doing okay in life when, once a month or more frequently, we're getting bashed for one thing or another. So,
yeah.
I mean, a little bit less now that we don't own Prison Pizza, but I really like this law, win through your actions, never your argument. It's kind of like winning through argument is trying to take the short route, immediate gratification. But obviously winning through your actions, sometimes it takes a while for your actions to show what you're trying to do or what you mean or whatever. So, but it's definitely better, winning through actions is definitely the better route. It's just very, very hard for people because they want to prove a point or to say, oh, I'm going to be fucking, mayor or whatever, and it's like, well, why don't you just go do it and show your hand. Are we only going through 9, so we remember that?
We're going to go through 10, so because I really like 10 real quick. Or it's like, oh, I'm going to be judge of Deer Lodge here, and yeah. But you're better off. You're better off not saying shit and just winning through your actual arguments. So anyway, let's just finish up with 10 because I really like this one. Law 10: infection. Avoid the unhappy or the unlucky. When you suspect you're in the presence of an infector, don't argue, don't try to help, don't pass the person on to your friends, or you'll become enmeshed. Flee the infector's presence or suffer the consequences. And the biggest thing I would say about this, and I'm not slamming like relationship or anything like that, but it kind of feels like when you start to get into a relationship and you're like, you get to a point where like, God, she's always fucking negative, like about fucking everything. Like it feels, you can feel it. Or at the state fair this past weekend, geez, Kelly bumped into one person and Matt bumped into another person. You thought it was going to be this short little conversation. And they just went on about how fucking bad their life sucked.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, what do you think about
that? Sorry, I'm getting a phone call.
Nice. Who is it?
Kenny Kimberly.
Oh, that's he's definitely an infector and a lucky hunt.
Kenny, if you're watching this, I'm too busy to talk right now, man. No, this is true. This is I think happy people and shit do this naturally. Like I was talking to someone the other day about someone else that's just all mopey and oh my life sucks and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, nobody wants to be around that shit ever. It's like that sucks because like you can't say anything because they're just gonna go take whatever you say and make it even more negative. And I don't know. I really agree with that one. Like if you're in a shitty situation, then step away from it or move away from it because
you shouldn't. Yeah, I
it is.
agree.
Yeah.
The extension of that is like you shouldn't date when you're in like a shitty mood or something like that, or everything sucks, like you're right. Who wants to be around that constantly, that negative person or whatever? That's why when I see this post, this is one of the dumbest posts I've ever seen. It's like, if you don't like me when I'm down and low, then fuck off when I'm winning. I was like, so you're mad I don't like you when you're a depressed piece of shit, but naturally people like winners. Okay, what do you think, Mounds?
I think like the one part I'll disagree with is like avoid them at all costs. I think if it's like, I think you should try and help someone initially, right? Like if there's someone that I know or care about that's like not doing well, I'm gonna try and help them. Or even if someone that's like kind of on the outskirts, that's like, if I can lend a good word or if there's something I can attempt to do to help, I think you do that. But I think one of the things that, saying that I feel very like confident in, and I see it more and more the older I get, you can't help people that don't want to be helped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
100%.
so I'll try, but if it's to the point where, to what you guys are saying, they're like, no, man, there's no way, it's never going to get, like, okay, like I tried to inject you with some like positive worldview, or I tried to see like, but if they don't want to be helped, they're going to continue to go down whatever path they're going down. And then I'm not going to like cut them out of my life, but I'll definitely keep them at, arm's length. I'll Heisman Trophy them so they can still be around, but I don't need them. Like, I don't need that negativity just like being sucked into my orb, because it's just, you can try. And if, I kind of live by the 3 strikes rule in general. And if you try and try and try, and it's still, oh man, I don't even, like, I gotta wait another year for NCAA football to come out on my PlayStation, man. Like, I can't help you. So yeah, the only part I disagree is I don't think you should just avoid them at all costs, because there's been times where all of us have been like down a little bit, and maybe, I don't know what gets you out of it, or if it's you hear someone say something, or a friend just happens to lend a hand at a certain point in time. So I think that aspect I don't agree with. Like, definitely don't just cut them off, but at a certain point, if you've tried to help and they don't want the help, then you've done all you can do.
Yeah, apparently you can't avoid this guy at all costs, right? Though, is that what happened to him?
Well, who the fuck is that?
That is Kurt Cobain, lead singer of Nirvana, who killed himself. Well, that's another conspiracy theory. Did he really kill himself?
God, we could do an entire fucking episode on that. There's a website dedicated to it.
I just watched The Dark Side of the 90s, one of them episodes, and Kurt Cobain was on it. In Seattle, the whole Seattle grunge scene, it was pretty freaking sweet. So I think that'd be cool, like conspiracies.
The Kurt Cobain one's really good.
Like, we've never gone down that road before.
No, that's not what we're about.
The Kurt Cobain one's good, but I would say it also has the fact with people not being able to handle that. A lot of celebrities out there are really fucking depressed as reality, and they eventually off themselves. Who's depressed that I just was shocked to hear about? Like, completely fucking shocked. Like, this guy has everything at a very young age. Pete Davidson battles depression constantly. Isn't that weird? Like, wouldn't you think that guy, he does whatever the fuck he wants? That guy looks like he has it all. Like, how is he fucking...
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. I mean, his dad died in 9/11. That's pretty depressing. And people constantly bring it up. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I think that's one of those things that it's brought up every year. So I could see maybe how that would like mess, because I think he was probably a pretty little kid when that happened. So I would imagine that messes with the person pretty good.
Yeah. Man, I was there. It was a pretty wild sight there when I was there in Pennsylvania. So
my phone's at 3%. So if I
horses.
Oh well, yes, I just want to wrap this up by saying one of the biggest tips from this guy I'm following now, and I read his books and everything else. He says, like, It's like, how do you define success? When are you successful? And he said this, like, you define success when you decide you're successful. He said, basically, there's people out there that have zero money and they find themselves to be very successful. There's also billionaires out there that think that they're not successful at all and they've never reached their peak. He said, you can sit there and say, I'll be successful when I hit this mark, I accomplish this thing. But once you hit that mark or accomplish that goal, there's just going to be another mark you're going to hit or have to hit to be happy. So everybody needs to decide right now they're successful, especially Kurt Cobain. All right, here we go. Make a really important point. All right.
Know what time it is? It's time to round those horses. Look at those fucking things go. All right. Jeez,
Nice.
I was hoping that would have lasted a little bit longer.
That's what she said.
So shit, I don't know. I'll go, Matt. Final commentary on tonight's episode.
I like those 48 laws of power or whatever the hell you call them. I like those. Like, I guess I didn't realize it was a continuation of the ones we were talking about earlier till tonight, and I think those are really eye-opening. Other than that, I thought it was a great episode. Like I said, a lot of good conversation here. But Pat, I really think we need to bring back the conspiracy theories, like we were talking about. That's that we'll get the audience back with those.
There was never an audience.
Our
That's
views,
a conspiracy.
Our views have actually gone up every episode since we took like that 2-month break.
That's what people want. People want 2-month breaks. I would be so more amped about every episode if we had a 2-month break in between every single episode.
Less is more, Mahoney.
Exactly.
Well, the stage is yours, Mahomes.
You know what? We talked about negativity there in the 648 laws of power, and what I wanted to say is I started off negative, so I'm very proud to be a warden. So I hope they don't embarrass themselves, and I'll be rooting for them in Sealy. I'm sending a scout there. My in-laws have a place in Sealy, and I think they're going to go watch that game on Friday. So yeah, that, and then let's just find a way to not take in as much social media. And I have no idea why Kurt Cobain got brought into this conversation at all.
All right, Kelly.
I might get cut off here, but yeah, success is finding happiness. So, like, if you're a teacher and you don't make much money or whatnot, but you're happy, then you found success. You've conquered the world. I've always said that. So I'm not surprised that celebrities and what's his name from SNL, Pete Davidson, is depressed and shit. I'm not surprised, because there's people that have nothing that are depressed. There's people that have nothing that are super happy. There's people that have everything and are depressed. There's people that have everything and are super happy. So as soon as you find that niche, what you want to do in life, and that's what fulfills you, then you have conquered the world. And that doesn't mean money. That doesn't mean fame. That can mean literally anything.
Yeah, totally. And I think, I think a lot of society, my final view is that a lot of times we should try to, like, follow up what you're saying, is like, try to stop defining what happiness looks like or what happiness should be or what should make a person happy. Like, you get divorced, and I'm so sad you got divorced. I'm so sad. It's like, some people get divorced and they're actually super happy. Some people get out of a fucking relationship that lasted 6 months and they're depressed as hell. It's like, so like my biggest thing is like, yeah, we should stop defining what happiness is and just realize that you're never going to fully control events in your life going for you, against you. It comes and goes. The truth is, you just need to be happy in a current situation. Like Al Watts says, none of us spend enough time in the actual present. We're spending way too much time in these fictional places in either the future or the past. And the future is completely fictional because nothing ever occurs in the future that you think is going to occur exactly the way you think it is usually. So my biggest end point is like, we all need to spend way more time in the present, enjoying the present, and then plan for the future. But stay in the present, have fun in the present, and that's my last word.
Redgate launches Friday. Finally Friday. I got a lot of work to do here these next 3 days, but we're launching Friday. And I'm just going to launch it. I'm going to pull the button, let it go, Kelly, and then I'm just going to go to Sealy Swan and disappear for a couple of days. Not even see what happens.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, everybody. Go Wardens. Friday night at
Go Wardens.
Sealy. Dear Lodge Wardens. Peace out, everybody.